May 14th, 2013. Sixers general manager Sam Hinkie iterates the famous word that will define the franchise for the foreseeable future: process. For years, the 76ers were the laughingstock of the league, the product of a delicious concoction consisting of 3 parts shameless tanking, 2 parts bad draft lottery luck, and a splash of injuries. Fast forward to present day, and all of a sudden, the joke was on us the entire time. Hinkie, the architect responsible for stocking the team with a war chest of draft assets, resigned before his life's work could come to fruition. As the world took notice of the talent he had successfully bet on long term, Hinkie became a martyr. He died for our sins, they said. The process was not just a social media fling anymore, it was religion. Was resigning part of his plan all along? While we'll never know for sure, what we can say is as soon as the ink dried on that infamous 13-page letter, Hinkie became the Dark Knight of Philadelphia. The hero the fans deserve, but not the one they need right now. 2 hours and change up the New Jersey Transit. A similar situation is currently unfolding at the Mecca of basketball. While the Knicks have almost nothing in common with the 76ers in terms of strategy, parallel sentiments are beginning to surface in the city around exiled president of basketball operations, Phil Jackson. The man who had the audacity to put a once-in-a-lifetime phenom on the trading block because he skipped his exit interview. The man who insisted his archaic form of offense would translate to the ever-evolving NBA game. The man who seemed to enjoy burning bridges over nothing but pettiness. Similar to Hinkie, was this Phil Jackson's plan all along? Did he plant these seeds without even telling us? Was he randomly looking old and decrepit on New York City public transportation? Did he purposely tweet cryptic things, or was this just part of his plan? Let's put the pieces together. At one point, Phil tried to trade Carmelo Anthony for what Melo described as a bag of chips.
We've not been able to win with him on the court at this time, and I think
he even went as far as to publicly declare the Knicks star would be better off elsewhere.
Would be better off somewhere else and using his talent.
It was at this moment the relationship between Phil and Melo had reached the point of no return. Immediately following the disaster 31-51 season the Knicks had last year, shit hit the fan. Fast. We soon learned Kristaps Porzingis skipped out on his exit interview with Knicks management and decided to take some selfies in the park instead before bouncing to Europe for the entire summer. This apparently did not please Phil, as rumors swirled that Jackson was going to trade Porzingis right before the 2017 draft began.
When a guy doesn't show up at an exit meeting, everybody starts speculating.
Nothing ever came of it, and eventually, Phil was let go. After Jackson's departure and months of Phil holding Melo hostage on the trade block because he would only accept a trade to either Houston or Cleveland, Anthony's will breaks, and he accepts a trade to Oklahoma City right before training camp starts. The season begins, and Porzingis evolves overnight into basketball Godzilla, leaving nothing but scorched earth in his path, and soars to the top of the NBA MVP rankings.
We're just playing with that New York mentality, that New York grit.
My question is, did Phil know? Did he turn heel to bring out a mutant Porzingis we would have never seen otherwise? Would Melo have stayed if Jackson didn't throw him under the bus? Did he sign Joakim Noah to a long-term deal just to piss Melo off? Say what you want about him or how it happened, but the fact remains Phil Jackson is responsible for drafting Porzingis.
Thank you.
And Frank Ntilikina, who is already showing signs of promise just 12 games into his career. Playing devil's advocate, why would Phil sacrifice himself for the betterment of the Knicks? He has 11 championship rings. He has enough money for 5 lifetimes. He was regarded as one of, if not the most brilliant basketball minds of his time. He had nothing to lose but his own legacy. Also, why did Dolan pick up Jackson's $20.5 million option only to fire him and pay him out a month later? Was it just another notch on Dolan's belt of hilariously bad Knicks decisions, or was this an IOU for taking the heat? These are the questions we may never get the real answers to.
I mean, you answered the question yourself.
But as Ntilikina continues to impress, and Porzingis lays waste to the rest of the league,
Porzingis puts up the three.
we have to start wondering if Phil Jackson will ascend to basketball martyr heaven the same way the city of Philadelphia now celebrates the unappreciated work of Sam Hinkie.
We talk a lot about process, not outcome.
For 20 years, the Knicks have been struggling to find a formula that works. And maybe it was Phil who knew all along that addition by subtraction was the only way.